everyone, my name is Jay and welcome to my channel. Guys, I wanted to start off my new look with a formal announcement video. Gosh, I'm sitting on my porch, it's blustery, it's fall, it's beautiful, I got a pumpkin, yeah. But the real news here today that I'm trying to deliver is that I am bringing some subtle changes to my YouTube channel and my Instagram for that matter. My name will be changing to Cup of J. As I've said before in a couple different videos, it's a play on Cup of Joe. I really love hot beverages, but I also really want to bring a bit more content in terms of stuff that I really love, and that is not as focused on spooky things, but still includes spooky things. Specifically, I'd love to incorporate more books and make this more of a BookTube channel. I've always loved reading. I've always loved spooky things and horror things and Halloween things, but I really enjoy exploring new books, exploring, different worlds within books, and really being able to talk to you guys about it. Honestly, not much is going to be changing. I'm going to be uploading every week still. I'm still going to be talking about spooky Halloween horror things, and I'm definitely going to be expanding more on my love of books. So if you have any questions about this, let me know in the comments below, but just keep an eye out for all the new stuff that's coming out soon, more content, more book stuff, more spook stuff, and also take a look at the banner on my YouTube channel. That art is done by my good friend Kacy. I will link all of her stuff below so that you can take a look at all of her other wonderful art. She has just been so gracious to do this art for me really quickly so I can get this whole new show on the road, but not all that new because it's still just the normal me, the normal Jay. So what I'm going to do right now is I've got some BookTube newbie questions. We're going to do the BookTube newbie tag. So I'm going to look at my phone to answer these questions. Please forgive. Okay, here is the first question. Why did you start this channel? Well, honestly, guys, I started this channel for a couple of different reasons. I first thought I wanted to do mukbangs, then I thought I wanted to do mainly Halloween and horror stuff, and then I figured books, dude, because I've always loved reading. I've always loved books. And let's be real, I'm just a giant freaking nerd. And I have a lot of interests, which is why I'm switching my name to Cup of J, so it's a little more generalized, less, I would say it at least, encapsulates everything that I would love to explore on my channel. It's a little more me. It's a little less focused on the spooky aspect of things, but still encapsulating that. And really the reason I started my YouTube channel is because I've got a lot of thoughts and exciting obsessions and fandoms that I don't necessarily not have a lot of friends to share with, but it's very concentrated, sort of focused topic, and I don't necessarily have a whole bunch of people to talk to about it. And it's funny because as I continue on this journey in YouTube, I actually find more and more people who are into the same things as me, and that's what I really wanted to do. I really wanted to explore the community aspect of YouTube and have a creative outlet. Okay, second question. What are some fun and unique things you think you can bring to BookTube? Well, guys, I'm a spooky bitch. Let's be real. I've got my pumpkin. I've got my skull scarf. But truly, I think that's the biggest thing is that I do love things with a spooky little edge. I also love fantasy a whole lot. And everyone loves fantasy for sure, but I'm much less of a contemporary reader. I will read contemporary and romance stuff, but to be honest, I'm a big high fantasy, sci-fi, and horror kind of reader, and that's what I'll gravitate towards, and I think that's going to be more of what I'm going to lean towards on my channel. Okay, third question. What are you most excited for with this new channel? Well, I'm excited for the upcoming growth that I hopefully will experience. I'm excited to get to know whoever watches these videos more. I'd love to interact with you more. I really love responding to comments and messages and stuff like that, and just building that community. Ever since I decided that books were probably going to be a part of my channel, I have been finding more and more people and Instagram profiles and YouTube channels that share all the same interests as me, and I think it's been just a really wonderful thing. Okay, why do you love reading is the next question. Guys, there are not enough hours in the day to explain why I love reading. So I'll just say this. I love reading because I am a daydreamer. I'm an escapist in a lot of ways, and I just love disappearing into worlds that are not my own. I love my life. I love everything in it and about it. But I also really freaking love magic, and I can't ever outgrow that, and I don't want to either. And I think reading just brings that dimension to your life that is just so much deeper than when you don't read. The next question is, what book series got you into reading? Well, I've always been a reader. My parents always very much encouraged it. Honestly, they were very strict, so I didn't have a lot of like playing outside and stuff, so I did a lot of reading regardless. I will say the earliest books that I can remember are probably going to be R.L. Stine books, Goosebumps, Fear Street, Christopher Pike books, because when we moved to the US from the Philippines, I was about 5 years old. I didn't have a lot to occupy my time. I didn't know a lot of people. The only friends I had were at school, and that was still difficult because I was brand new to a new country. And my cousin, who we were living with, her family, she had a wonderful collection of Goosebumps and R.L. Steins and Christopher Pike books. So I just started reading them and I devoured them. And when we finally moved to Florida, she came to visit and brought all the books that were on her shelf that I would borrow from, and she gave them to me, and that's what I devoured so quickly. I think within a matter of like 1 or 2 months, I had finished like all 30 books that she brought me, and they weren't very big, R.L. Stein, Christopher Pike, they're rather thin books, but at the time I was like 10 maybe, and I just really enjoyed the heck out of them. Okay, so next question is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Guys, I have so many questions all at the same time, like constantly running through my head, especially when I'm watching my favorite booktubers. Some of my favorites are Alexandra Roslin, Brittany the Bibliophile, Chandler Ainsley, Books with Chloe. And really what I'd ask them the most is, what kept you going through the times of doubt? When you thought that maybe your channel wasn't going to amount to much of anything? What kept you moving through those difficult slumps and made you optimistic for what you were going to do with your channel later? I do get, as many people do, some bouts of imposter syndrome when I'm creating. Not even just content for my YouTube channel, but everything in general. I'm a creative person, but I always seem to have doubts, like I don't belong here, I don't deserve to be doing this, etc. I'm not going to get too deep into it because it's not as like sad and depressing as it sounds, but everyone has their doubts, and I'd love to just hear from my favorite creators, like, what is it that kept them positive and optimistic and working through the slumps? So the next question is, when did you start reading? I started reading when I believe I was around 4. My parents, like I said, were very big into reading. They knew that it was just something that it was going to be very important in my life, and it was important that I explored being literate and just books in general. And it was the one thing that they could justify splurging on. We came from the Philippines. We didn't have a whole lot of money when we first moved to the U.S. Because that's a big trip across the world. And they were just getting settled, but they never didn't buy me books. So, where do you read? I tend to just read on my couch, to be honest, or in my bedroom. I haven't found like that perfect spot in my house where it's really super comfortable in terms of reading, but I kind of read anywhere. I prefer to read in more quiet places, maybe where there's like a soft hum of white noise, like nothing too crazy. I can't have total silence, but I also am not someone who can like sit in a busy ass Starbucks and just read away. It has to be sort of quiet. Last question. What kind of books do you like to read? I believe I answered this a little bit earlier, but I'm a big high fantasy, magical, sci-fi, and horror book reader. I'm an escapist at heart. Like I said, I love daydreaming, and I love books that sort of induce that sort of daydreaming at a high level, at a magical level. So most of the books that I will explore are going to be fantasy, sci-fi, and horror. I I do like romance every now and then. I have read a few good ones in the recent couple of months, but I gravitate towards fantasy mostly. All right, guys, so that is my big announcement. I hope you enjoyed this video and the questions and the answers. And I hope that you're sticking with me through all of this exciting growth and more content. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, please comment down below, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you always know when I've got good things coming to you. Bye, y'all.